With two authorities, Imam Muslim reports from Hazrat Nawwas bin Saman radiyallahu anhu that Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam in one morning mentioned Dajjal. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam sometimes mentioned it as an insignificant or sometimes significant trial until we thought that he was in the stand of date palms. In the evening, when we entered the presence of him, he sallallahu alaihi wasallam discerned are those expressions and said, "What happened to you?" We submitted, "O Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you mentioned Dajjal this morning and sometimes mentioned it as an insignificant and sometimes a significant trial until we thought that he was in the clump of date palms." Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam thereupon said, "I fear some other things for you more than Dajjal. If he appears while I am among you, I will contend with him in place of you. But if he appears while I am not among you, everyone should himself fend off. And Allah Jalla Jalaluhu will be the protector of every Muslim on my behalf. Dajjal will be a young man with curly hair and bulging eyes. I liken him to Abdul Uzza bin Qatan. Whoever of you finds him should recite the first 10 verses of chapter Al-Kahf, the cave before him. Undoubtedly, he will emerge from Hulla between Syria and Iraq and will wreak havoc on his right and left. O the bondsmen of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, remain steadfast." We submit, "O Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how long will he stay on the earth?" He sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, 40 days. One day will be equal to 1 year, one day equal to 1 week, and the rest of the days will be like your common days. We submit, "O Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam, will the prayers of that one day which will be like 1 year suffice us?" He sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "No, you must make an estimate of the prayers of 1 year." We submitted, "O Allah's Apostle sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how fast will he move on the earth?" He sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Like a rain which is driven by a wind from behind. He will come to a people and invite them to believe in him, and they will believe in him and accept his invitation. He will command the sky, so the rain will pour down from the sky, and he will command the earth, and it will produce vegetation, and their grazing animals will return in the evening with comparatively taller humps, heavier udders, and fatter flanks. He will then come to another people and invite them, but they will reject his invitation, so he will return from them, and famine and drought will hit them, and they will be left with nothing of their property. He will then pass by a barren land and say to it, 'Bring forth your treasures.' Thereupon the treasures of the earth will follow him, as honey bees go to their chiefs. He will then call a strong and tall young man and strike him with a sword and cut him in 2 halves, and place the 2 halves at a distance between an archer and his target. He will then call him, and he will come with beaming face and laughing. During these activities, Allah Jalla Jalaluhu will dispatch Hazrat Masih bin Maryam, Jesus Christ alayhi salam, in the east of Damascus near the white minaret, wearing yellow robes, resting his hands on the wings of 2 angels. He alayhi salam will descend. When Hazrat Isa alayhi salam will lower his head, the beads of sweat will fall down from his head, and when he will raise it, pearls like drops will fall down. It will not be possible for a disbeliever to remain alive to whom its fragrance will reach, and his fragrance will reach up to the farthest range of vision. He will search for Dajjal until he finds him at the gate of Lud and kills him. Then a people whom Allah Jalla Jalaluhu will have kept secured from Dajjal will come to Hazrat Masih bin Maryam alayhi salam. He alayhi salam will stroke their faces affectionately and notify them of their ranks in paradise, while they will be in the same condition. Allah Jalla Jalaluhu will reveal to Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, "I have brought forth some of my bondsmen with whom no one can fight. You should take these bondsmen to Tur safely." And Allah Jalla Jalaluhu will send Gog and Magog, and they will come slipping down from every height. The first groups of them will pass through Lake Tiberias or the Sea of Galilee and drain all of its water. Then other groups will pass by it and say, once there was water. Hazrat Isa, Allah's Prophet ﷺ, and his companions radiallahu anhum will be besieged there at Tur until the head of an ox will be better for any one of them than 100 dinar of any one of you today. Then Hazrat Isa, Allah's Prophet ﷺ, and his companions radiallahu anhum will supplicate Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. Allah Jalla Jalaluhu will thereupon create a worm in the necks of Gog and Magog, and in the next morning they will all die all at once. Then Hazrat Isa, Allah's Prophet ﷺ, and his companions radiallahu anhum will descend on the earth and will not find space even equal to a span on the earth that is free of their filth and stench. Then Hazrat Isa, Allah's Prophet ﷺ, and his companions radiallahu anhum will invoke Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, and Allah Jalla Jalaluhu whereupon will send birds like the necks of Bhakti camels. These birds will pick the corpses and dispose them of where Allah Jalla Jalaluhu wills. Allah Jalla Jalaluhu will then send rain which will wash the earth, and every house, though it is of clay or a tent of hide, will be clear like a mirror. It will be said to the earth, produce your fruits and return your blessing. So that day, one group of them will eat only one pomegranate to the satiety and get shelter under its skin. And one milch camel will be sufficient for one group of people, and one milch cow will be sufficient for a whole tribe, and a milch nanny goat will be sufficient for a whole family. In this state of affairs, Allah Jalla Jalaluhu will send a purifying wind which will touch the people beneath their armpits and capture the soul of every believer and every Muslim, leaving only wicked people who will openly fornicate like donkeys, and upon them the hour will be established. Sahih Muslim Hadees number 7299.